Okay, it's 4:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everyone today for joining us to our Adobe Express Animate Your Voice session with myself, Debbie, and Nora. We'll be actually doing most of the heavy lifting today. She's one of our great CITs from Santos Livas Elementary and also a librarian there. So thank you for joining us. Today, just make sure you have registered. The session number is the 386-817. Sign in with the remote check-in so you can get credit for attending the session. And if you have any questions, just please feel free to put those in the chat and we'll try to get those answered for you and just have fun learning about Adobe Express. Last week, we also did a session on Adobe Express, which focused on more like TELPUS speaking and reading. So you are just going to get like a second dose today, and this one is a little bit more focused on social studies. Now, you can use it basically with any content, but we chose, social studies to kind of focus on today and using the Adobe Express characters to help animate your voice. So this is just a small
The
sample.
16th century Spanish explorer Francisco Vázquez de Coronado lived from 1510 to 1555. He was serving as governor as an important province in New Spain when he heard reports of the so-called seven golden cities.
So I'm not going to make you listen to the whole thing, but this is a project that you could do with your students on the topic of Spanish explorers, and that's actually coming up in the fourth grade curriculum for next week. And Nora's also going to kind of do a spin on that, and she's going to show you the heavy lifting of how you can actually create something like this or have your students create it, because that's what we really want you to do, is have the students share their voices and taking that content objective, telling you basically what they've learned about that certain explorer or famous person or whatever you're studying, whatever your content is. Like I said, we're doing a social studies spin where we just took some social studies lessons, but you can really do this with any content area. So I'm going to turn it over to Nora so she can show you exactly how to go into Adobe Express and how to create an animate your voice project. So Nora, take it away.
Okay. Hey, can you see this, Debbie?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let me put it on present mode. Okay, so my name is Nora Rios. I am a librarian at Santos Livas Elementary. I've been a librarian for now about 16 years, so I totally love my job. And so if you haven't checked in, this is the code PSJA Tech. This is the session number. If you haven't registered, you can register and then you can sign in. So Adobe Express, you can actually find it by going up to your waffle, and which is on the left-hand side. Usually when you open up your email, it's right there in the left-hand side of your screen. And so these are all the apps that we have as a district. And so Adobe Express, this is the icon for it. And once you check or click on it, our objective is to actually go over the objective week 5, fourth marking period, and it's talking about identifying the accomplishments and explain the impact of significant explorers, including, and so the gentleman that we're going to be talking about is Rene Robert Cavalier, which is Sierra de la Salle. And this, in reference to, the settlement of Texas. So what I did, first of all, I went in to click and generate an image. This is something that you can actually have students look up the individual that they're going to be having their project on. And what you can do is you can have them kind of like describe the character, and then you can put it on AI to generate an image. And then you can see what pops up. So in my description, I spoke about a standing full body French Rene Robert Cavalier, Sierra de la Salle explorer with a white bow tie, very curly brown hair, and wearing a red coat and a sword around his waist. And this is what came up. Several other ones did appear, but this one, pretty much I wanted him like standing up. And so when I went and generated this image, it popped up with this gentleman here. Then what I did is I downloaded a map off the internet, and then I uploaded it into Adobe Express. You can either right-click, copy image, and then go to Adobe Express and do Control V, which is the paste, to add a background. So I added this one here. You don't have to upload the image. You can just control paste it into Adobe Express. And then I wanted to give it kind of like another background that had like the map. So I went into elements, which are over here in the corner. And I did a search for maps, and this is what came up. Okay, and then I attached it to it. So this was all created as a background to animate the voice. So it kind of incorporated a little bit of the Explorer there. So then what I also did is I returned to the home page, and all I had to do was click the top corner where you have the Adobe Express app, kind of like the icon, and it brought me back to the original homepage of Adobe Express. Then what I did is I clicked on Animate a Character. And so when I clicked Animate a Character, this window appeared in which you can select a character to animate. So as you can see, there's several characters off to the side, and it's not just these characters. You can do like little robots, and you can just scroll down all of them, and then you can see which one which one the student would want to pick, and then they would animate that particular character. Then I wanted to select a background. You can go in and select any of the backgrounds that are available on Adobe Express, or like I created my own background, so I'm going to upload the image here. You click upload the image, and then you search for your image, which on Adobe Express, what I had to do is I had to download the image first and then upload it onto Adobe Express. So it's kind of like I'm doing both of them. I downloaded it and then I uploaded the image on this particular on creating it. So I went and uploaded it, and that gave me the background that looks like this. So once you have that and your image, I try to kind of, proportionate, don't make it too small or too taller than the actual character over here. So what I did afterward is I went in and clicked record. After clicking record, it actually counts down, down from 3, 2, 1. And then it asks you also for permission to use the microphone. So the students, you can use this presentation with the students. I think it's simple enough where the students can actually follow along. And and do one on their own using this presentation as well.
We don't hear it, Nora, so I
You
think
don't?
if you go up to the top to share the sound, it kind of scroll up, a little bar should pop up and you can share your sound.
Of the
I
Mississippi
see it.
River.
Can you hear it now? Let me see.
Yes,
Let me.
perfect.
Hi, I'm Nora, and today we're going to learn about a French explorer who led the European settlement of Texas. His name was René Robert Cavelier, known as Sieur de la Salle. He spent years searching for a river route across North America, and in the fall of 1681, La Salle set out on his fourth expedition of the Mississippi River. On April 9, 1682, he reached the Gulf of Mexico. He had finally found his way to the ocean. He claimed the land for France and named it Louisiana for King Louis XIV.
Okay. So
Hi, I'm Nora.
sorry, excuse me. I really enjoyed putting this background on it, of the map, because you can teach the kids map skills by actually reading the legend and then tracing the route that he used in his explorations. So, um, let's see. Okay. Mm, Okay, I think, did I lose you all? I don't know.
You
I'm
stopped sharing, so we don't see your screen anymore.
I'm trying to look for it. It's been a while. Um, so I guess if you let me share my screen again. Sorry. Presenter mode. Okay, so um, over here, like in Adobe Express, there was a project that we worked on at the beginning of the school year. So this would be something that we worked on Adobe Express, having a template like this and having kids generate a picture of themselves. I'm sure they would like that. And then you can use several projects like similar to this to be able to get to know your kids and also, do the projects that we showed you right now with your kiddos. So to go back to the main screen, this would be the main screen. Again, here you would generate your image, and over here you would animate your character. And there's several other things that you can do on Adobe. Like when you create something, you can, when you're working on generating an image, you can also, let me see. When you generate an image and you put something there, you can always, I'm trying to copy this so you can see. It always comes up with different images. And if you want to make it more cartoonish, you can do that as well. Also here, there's elements that you can add, to the background. You can also go in and um, add your backgrounds, because this is where I added my background of the map. But right here, you can also, I'm looking for it. You can also eliminate the background, on there as well. And I'm trying to search for that button. You can add backgrounds here. That's where I went in and looked for the maps. And I just put it behind him. Um, um, I'm trying to eliminate like his background, which you can remove the background. This is resizing, theme, animation, background color, and bulk quick. If not, we can always do search for, this is where you would upload, and this is where you would add the elements. And so if you uploaded, you know, this was the one that I uploaded after I had downloaded from here. So under your stuff, this is the one that I used to download. And then I just uploaded it back. Is there any questions that you might have? Debbie, is there anything in the chat?
We did have Mr. Castillo ask how to assign to the students.
Well, to assign it, you first would need to present it like a template of what you want, you know, and so I would definitely show this little video to them and have them walk through it, you know, and then as they're walking through, they can create their own view of that particular Explorer. And you can, there isn't a way in which you can assign it. It's not like Canva, you know. I guess if you do, you can share it up here, right? And then there should be a link that you can share it so that that individual can create their own template or even change the template. So I guess you can have the instructions, and then as they're going through their project, they can start making modifications to it by using the link. And you can share it on Google Classroom here. I hope that answers your question. Is there any more questions?
Okay, so to my understanding, if we want the kids to like speak using the animation, we'd have to tell them to go to the animation and do it and then upload it to Google Classroom, or
They can, like, for example, their project, you're saying, when they do their project, organize a project. Once they've animated it, what they do is they download it. Okay. So, like, for example, I have it downloaded. So let me look on my downloads. And so it's right here. So what they would do is they can send it through Google Classroom. You know, if they open up their Google Classroom, they can upload it and then they can send it through there, or they can send it to you through, well, basically through Google Classroom. They would submit their assignment. So they would have to download it, and it does take a little while to download, depending on how much information they record. They have up to 2 minutes where they can record, or mine was just like maybe about 35 seconds or so. So it took a little while to download it, and then once I'm ready to upload it, they'll just send it through uploads. Yeah. On Google Classroom, yes.
I know, and Valentine posted in the chat that you can then maybe turn it into a QR code, to have in the hallway, like for an open house or to share with parents. I know
Yes, definitely.
sometimes we go to the campuses and there's like little QR codes so you can see the student projects that they have created.
That's a really good idea of sharing the QR codes too.
And really, basically, you can use this with any kind of content, whatever you want the students to show, that, whatever they have learned, they can kind of do a recap on anything and animate their voice and share their voice with you. Are there any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Nora, for presenting for us and showing us the neat project. And I like the images that it created are pretty cool.
Yes, that AI is pretty nice to use. I'm sure students, I mean, just by having them look at a picture and try to describe it, that also helps with their writing and such. Sorry.
Okay, well, stick around. We have some door prizes. Was there another question? I know my computer stopped halfway through and I got disconnected. So can you show the student view and how you would first introduce Adobe Express to students that have never used it before?
Well, the student view would basically, I mean, it depends if you want them to generate their own image. But as a student view, basically it's the same thing, They have the Adobe Express in the corner and then just this one that animate your voice, which would be this particular slide, and just having them doing the doing it on kind of like at the same time simultaneously, that would also help the students, go step by step. And then in the end, they'll be able to do it, without any assistance afterward because it's very simple, very easy, very fun to do. And it's very simple. They don't even have to upload, they don't have to upload like a particular background or anything. They can just select from here. There's the background, and then they can just select the ones that are offered through Adobe Express. And they have several. They have several. It's just I thought it would be really neat to use AI, for the students and see what characters would pop up, you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure
and
they
so,
would be,
yeah.
yeah.
And students do have the same view as a teacher. If they go to their apps, they're going to have the Adobe Express app there as well, just like the teacher would. And so
Yes.
you could just introduce, the activity and you can take them there through the app, and you could show them the animate your voice, and have them do that and then upload it to, your Google Classroom assignment. As far as if the whole class is speaking at the same time, it might pick up some of the background noise, especially if they don't have a headset. I would recommend using a headset if you are having the whole class do it at the same time. It might get noisy and pick up background. Like, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing it would.
There is right here at the very bottom of underneath the record, there's an enhanced speech. And so if you move the button over, it will focus more on them. Somehow it'll, not pick up the background noise, but it is, better if they have headsets. Yes. And then it won't pick up anything, but if they don't have any, then enhance the speech and it will just enhance their speech, on there.
So that's a good tip.
Yes, but as you can see, there's several characters. You know, you can even take a picture of yourself, and there's one in here where you can add lips and then the mouth only, and you can put them on like their, if they want, they could take a picture of themselves, upload their picture, and then apply one of these lips, and then they can do the talking, through the lips. So that would be interesting. I'm sure they would have fun looking at themselves, like move these lips or even these big red lips like that. They would probably find it hilarious too.
Yeah, and in our session last week, she showed how to do that. So if you do want to see more on Adobe Express and animate your voice, we did have a training last week. It is on our YouTube channel. I put the link there to the YouTube channel. So you're welcome to watch that as well and get a little bit more information on animating these different characters. So hopefully you'll try it with your students. And if you do have questions, you can reach out. We have our email addresses on the last slide. So you're welcome to, reach out and ask questions. Also, Valentin Guetta is here with us, and you can reach out to him as well. But if we don't have any more questions, I guess it's time for door prizes. And thank you again, Nora, for presenting today.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll go out and try this with your kiddos.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and present my screen so that we can do the wheel of names. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Let's do a little shuffle. You do have to be present to win. I have to share my sound because it's kind of fun now. Yesenia Hernandez, are you still here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay, you're our lucky winner today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you again, everyone. If you have questions on this, just reach out. We'll be happy to help you explore or answer those questions. Students, they'll probably learn this faster than us. They pick up things really quick, and it's just another way for them to show what their knowledge is, what they're learning in a different way. Have a good rest of the week. And thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you.